We were building 3 office buildings with Prudential Insurance Company in the late 70s. So I thought it would be nice to have a park inside of the space encompassed by these buildings. One day I was looking at an art magazine and I saw a fountain that Isamu Noguchi had done in Detroit, and just made up my mind I'd like to talk with him about perhaps accepting a commission to do a garden. I went to New York and Noguchi allowed me to come to his apartment.
At first, I think he kind of rebuffed him and wasn't too enthusiastic about taking on this kind of a commission. Isamu ordinarily didn't work with developers. I think he had a suspicion of what they would do with something artistic, but in Henry's case, apparently Isamu sensed that here was someone who was genuine and sincere, and he went along with Henry, and it's the first and only commercial project that he did with a developer.
Several months later, I asked him why he had never dealt with a developer before. And I think he gave me the most gracious and supreme compliment. He said, because I never trusted any of them. The first time he saw the plans for the project, he said, "What's this building?" And I said, "It's a parking structure." "And what's this building?" "It's a parking structure." And he said, "I'm not interested." He said, "The trouble with Southern California is nobody walks and everybody drives." Oh, it was fun going back and forth. But in his heart of hearts, I think he was dying to do a major project in California. He really, really wanted to do something here.
I think he genuinely reacted to Henry very favorably and liked him. And Henry just told Isamu, "I need an artistic dictator on the project, and you're it." I think his naming it California Senario, you know, he put elements in there, water use, water source, land use, energy fountain, the desert land, and the forest walk, all sort of recalling aspects of the California landscape.
I was so delighted that we had come to an agreement on the design and construction of the garden, but I was left with a rather empty feeling that we didn't have a piece of sculpture. So I wrote him a letter and said that I'd like to have something from his hand as well as his head. The piece that he created was done in Japan. The piece originally he called The Source of Life. He later then, as we were working on the garden, without any discussion with me, changed the name to The Spirit of the Lima Bean, which pleased me very much, and it was in deference to our family's use of the land that the piece of sculpture is on.
Isamu always twerked nature a bit, so it's not a perfect pyramid, it's a distorted pyramid. Creates kind of a surreal landscape there, and I always think when I'm there of stage sets and designs that he did for Martha Graham. In the evenings, it's particularly marvelous. If you walk between the wall and the lighting fixture, you'd cast these huge shadows, and people like to sort of stand in front and gesticulate, and this is public art that people could really enjoy.